If you have around $750 to spend on a PC build, you can get a gaming system that's going to be amazing for 1080p resolution and 1440p. I will show you every component and I will also tell you the expected performance for the system. That way, if you are a beginner, you can understand what I'm saying. So I highly recommend you staying until the end if you want a new system at this price range. All the links to these components and bonus ones will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. First, we have the CPU, the AMD Ryzen 5 5600. Honestly, this is one of the best CPUs in terms of value since it's only $130 and it's going to give you amazing performance at 1080p, 1440p and even 4K resolution depending on the GPU. So it can be paired with really high-end GPUs out there without bottlenecking. Then for the CPU cooler, we have the ID Cooling SE214XT. Now this one is not a must. You can stick to the stock cooler from AMD and that's going to be completely fine. But if you want lower noise levels and also lower temps overall, and on top of that a better aesthetic, then this cooler is going to make sense and it's only $18 at the end of the day. Then for the motherboard, we have the ASRock B550M Pro 4 Micro ATX motherboard. This one has all the features that you're going to need, and if you're new to PCs, you don't understand motherboards, that's totally fine. The only thing you need to know is that it has more than one M.2 slot, which means that if you want more storage down the line, you can always upgrade. Then for the memory, we have the Team Group T-Create Expert 32 gigs of RAM kit of DDR4. This is 2x16 dual channel and it's going to be really good for gaming but also for content creation and streaming since it's 32 gigs. Then for the storage, we have a 1TB Gen 3 SSD in the Team Group MP34, really good speeds, and as I said before, if you ever need more storage, the motherboard supports more M.2 SSDs, so you can always upgrade. Then for the graphics card and the most important component when it comes to gaming performance, we have the RX 6700 XT. This one is going for $320 and in my opinion is the best one in terms of price to performance when it comes to 1080p and 1440p resolution. On the latest test from TechSpot, the RX 6700 XT on a 15 game average at 1080p was able to average 103 FPS, which is really high considering that some of the games that were tested here are high demanding, such as The Last of Us Part 1, Hogwarts Legacy, so really good numbers here for 1080p on high to ultra settings. And then on the same test at 1440p, the 6700 XT was able to average 74 FPS. And remember that we are talking about high demanding titles on high to ultra settings, so if you want to play easier to run games such as Fortnite, Valorant, CS2 and all these type of shooters, you will be achieving more than 200 FPS on average on competitive settings. In addition to that, at 1440p, the RX 6700 XT has the lowest cost per frame out of all GPUs, so it's actually the best one in terms of price to performance when it comes to 1440p resolution. The reason why I wouldn't buy a GPU from NVIDIA for this exact PC build, it's because at around the same price you can get the RTX 4060 for about $300 and you get 8 gigs of VRAM, meaning that it's not as future-proof as the 6700 XT, and even today some games do require more than 8 gigs of VRAM at 1440p. It's about 10% slower in rasterized performance anyway, and yes, you may get a better level of ray tracing, but at this price point and at this GPU level, I wouldn't recommend you playing with ray tracing on anyway. So in my opinion, AMD is a clear winner at this price point. Then for the case, we have the Fantex Eclipse G300A ATX mid-tower case. I love this one. It comes with 3 pre-installed fans, plenty of airflow, it looks amazing in my opinion, and it's just $55. But if you do not like the aesthetic of this one, or maybe you want a smaller case because the motherboard is Micro ATX, so it's smaller, then I will leave those alternatives in the video description. Just pick the case that you like the most. And last but not least, we have the power supply with the Apivia Prestige 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply. Enough wattage for this system, C-tier rated, meaning that it's going to be good enough for this type of computer, and the most important part, it will not explode or shut down while gaming. The total price for this system when I'm recording this video is $771, and if you want to keep this at around $750, you can take out the CPU cooler, just stick to the free one from AMD, and then the total price is going to be around $750. Anyway, this is an amazing price for a 1440p system where you can run games on high to ultra settings at above 70 FPS on average. And as I said before, it's also great if you want to play at 1080p right now and maybe upgrade to 1440p down the line. If you have a different budget though, let's say you have 800 or more, or maybe you have 700 or less, you can watch my video on the best PC builds of the month for every single budget and every resolution. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.